Hi. I want to talk today about the concept of praise and thanksgiving. It's not the same as worship, it's like a sister concept. Praise really in the Bible is, it's being joyful, it can be being joyful. Sometimes we make the mistake of waiting till we feel joyful in order to give praise and thanksgiving, but that's not really the biblical idea of praise. Praise is talking to God about God, talking about all the great things that God is. And we make the mistake sometimes of waiting until we're in a good place to praise. That's not biblical. Really, praise is the avenue into that intimate place of God's presence. It's talking to God about himself, about his own attributes. Psalm 100 is a great one to look up and easy to remember because it's 100. And it says, enter his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Before that it says, come before his presence with singing. Praise doesn't have to be singing. You can talk about it, but the concept is that praise is like a vehicle that brings us into the presence and the government and the intimacy of God, and into a place of worship actually. And that's why we use singing and praise and talking to God about himself on a Sunday morning, because it's a vehicle into the intimate place of worship where we're in the courts of God. And in the courts of God, in the court is where the government and the law happens, isn't it? So if you want the law of God and to see the government and the order and the kingdom of God in your life, praise is the way of coming into that place. Don't wait till you feel good enough to praise and thank God. Use thanksgiving as a way of entering into his presence. Find some things to thank God for. Stir yourself up by way of remembrance and start thanking God for stuff. Find something to thank him for, because when you do that, it forces you into a change of perspective. You start to remember how big God is, how small you are, how big God is, how small your situation is, and you start to, rather than praise and thanksgiving feeling uncomfortable and wrong and weird, it starts feeling good. And actually you start to move from a place of praise and thanksgiving into the place of God's presence, his courts, and into a place of worship where you're actually, like we said in another session, worship is being drawn near to God and being intimate with him. So be encouraged to praise even when you feel terrible. Start to praise in faith that you will yet see the goodness of God in the land of the living. And remember that praise is that vehicle by which you enter into the courts of your King, enter into the gate of your God. At the gate is where decisions are made. In Middle Eastern thinking, the gate was where authority and government happened. It was a significant place. Maybe we'll do another session on gate one of these days. But yeah, praise is good. Not necessarily about how you feel. It will take you to that place where you start to feel in line with the truth of God. But maybe to start off with, you praise when you're feeling rubbish. And that's still a good thing. Bless you.